Hi guys, I'm Riley and Fina.
Hi, Riley.
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's poppin'?
Oh, there we are. Now we have both of you.
Everyone looks so cute.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I had a question. With Aaron being bilingual, what does that look like in the script? Like, are you getting it in two languages, or do you get separate pages? Like, I'm so curious about the logistics of how that's achieved.
Yeah, so I think it depends on the scene, but at first it was just in parentheses, in Chinese, blah 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 blah, and then later they would send me a video, an audio recording of how to pronounce it, and then they had a linguist on set for all the Mandarin scenes. It was really cool to get to learn a new language.
Oh, you didn't speak before the gig?
So I train Shaolin Kung Fu, and so all my Shifus who were raised in the temple, they speak to me in Mandarin a lot of the time. So I kind of understood a few phrases, but not everything. But I think it definitely helped with my pronunciation, for sure.
So Riley, I gotta ask, do you feel like Allie is the perfect future self, version of yourself? Do you feel like that's where you're gonna be? You're gonna be a comedian, stand-up comedian, and you're
I think she's a perfect future version of Erin. Yeah.
What was it like getting to work with her?
Oh, it was a blast. I would never think of Allie wanting to play an older version of me, but she and I just had a blast crafting this character, and we really bonded over the fact that Erin had this. She was sort of forced to grow up really quickly, knowing that she had to take care of other people rather than herself. Herself wasn't really her main focus. And I think in scenes where we see adult Erin, we can see that 12-year-old girl still inside of her. So it was a blast. Yeah.
Why do you believe that KJ is so timid about exploring what's going on with her future self?
I wouldn't say that she's necessarily timid. I would say that, she has all these expectations put on her from when she's younger, and when she's in 88, her family has this very heavy hold on her of trying to shove her into this box that she doesn't feel like she fits in. And so I think that she herself is almost okay with not knowing, first of all, and then also doesn't necessarily want to be disappointed. I think that she's comfortable enough to not want that sneak peek, and but luckily she's happy with herself, and is able to grow her confidence throughout the series and find out who she is more. But I wouldn't necessarily say she's timid. I
Hesitant
think she's
is probably the word.
hesitant, yes, but I think she's just more comfortable and doesn't need to explore further. And also she has seen what Erin has gone through and is protecting herself. So maybe hesitant.
Your characters all go on self-discovery journeys. Was there anything that you learned about yourself through these characters?
Did you learn anything about yourself, Riley?
That's a heavy question. I think filming it, I was 13, and I feel like during the ages between 12 and 13, there's just uncertainty of who you are, or if you fit in or not. And playing Erin and interacting with the girls and just being into this whole new experience of working on a set really helped me discover the things that I like and the things that I want to do. I learned a lot. I learned a lot, and I definitely now just feel a lot more comfortable with who I am.
Yeah, and as the experience of working on this set, it was the first time that I really felt like a project was so much bigger than me. And if anything, it just completely solidified that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And then also, just by working with Riley, this last right here, I haven't said this before, but she and I got into a lot of hijinks like offset and when we were just hanging out together, and she definitely helps me learn to come into myself more and to not be embarrassed, because I feel like so many people our age are so caught up in just being cool all the time. But Riley and I would like go to restaurants and just dance in the middle of restaurants, or we would roller skate around the streets, and we did not know how to roller skate, and we would just sing on set and not care who heard us, and so we just got to live it up and embrace ourselves and each other, and that helped me be more solid with myself and appreciate fun.
That's exactly how I felt with, like, she basically explained exactly how I was feeling whenever I was around Fina.
We haven't discussed this ever.
Never. Wow.
So we're living in a really challenging time where a lot of people from minority groups are being targeted, and both of your characters have really special storylines and like represent, I guess, the other. So was that something that really stood out to you about like what this story is going to provide for people who maybe feel alone or unsafe?
Yes, so Paper Girls doesn't exaggerate the 80s. It's not used as a crutch with all the nostalgia. The 80s wasn't a great time for a lot of people. With the homophobia and the sexism and the racism, it's really interesting to see how it all affects the girls as young people. And I'm really happy that we get to be a part of a project that portrays how how the 80s actually was, and it doesn't feel romanticized or forced upon.
Anything you want to add?
Each of the girls have such a special arc that anyone can find themselves in, and for KJ's story, I really tried to approach that with a lot of care and with the knowledge that there were a lot of people who might need this story. And so I hope that audiences are happy with what we've done. It's really a place where I think a lot of people will be able to come together and see themselves on screen and hopefully be able to overcome some things that they may be feeling in their own lives.
Yeah, well, not only Fina helped me be who I am today, but also KJ's character. So, yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.